toxic train derailment in eastern Ohio. Now to new details on the toxic train derailment in eastern Ohio, where fear and outrage is growing. CBS News has learned employees at the Norfolk Southern say they had expressed concerns about the train that crashed, suggesting it could be too long and heavy. Anger boiled over at a town hall meeting last night as locals complained of health concerns since the accident. Roxana Sabiri is in New Waterford, Ohio. Roxana, good morning.
Good morning, Nate. Authorities lifted evacuation orders in East Palestine last Wednesday, just 5 days after the accident. Since then, many people in this area have told me they've started coughing and getting rashes, that fish are dying and pets are getting sick.
Damn.
It's clear they want answers. Outrage poured over at a town hall in East Palestine last night as anxious residents grilled state and local officials. Not present, rail operator Norfolk Southern. CBS News has learned that some of the company's employees had previously expressed concern over the excessive size and weight of the 151-car train, which was 9,300 feet long and weighed 18,000 tons. They say it had suffered at least one breakdown on its route before it derailed in East Palestine. Despite the numerous toxic chemicals released, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine now says tests on 5 steel-encased town wells show it's safe to drink their water. And health officials say the air quality is back to pre-accident levels. But resident Melissa Blake says 2 days after the derailment, doctors diagnosed her with acute bronchitis from chemical fumes.
They quarantined me, they gave me a breathing treatment, they had to put me on oxygen, they were going to wash my clothes, and they didn't know what was on me.
One of the chemicals on the train, vinyl chloride, is classified as a carcinogen, and there were other chemicals as well.
We don't know what is a safe concentration in the air, in the soil, in the water of any of these compounds.
CBS News medical treater and oncologist Dr. David Agus says the long-term health effects of industrial chemicals on people are not well studied.
And so when this happened, there wasn't a playbook of we can do X and Y if this spills. They're developing the playbook as we speak.
What's your biggest worry? That is never going to go away. It's going to get worse.
In response to claim...
Shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give our praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Harakah, Kodash, Ma'amav. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and GMS, and also double honors to the elder of the Lions Den Camp of Hara 1. Shalom to the Lions Den Camp, and also the brothers and sisters that's pushing in truth and sincerity. Alright, coming with you with a lesson, just speaking on the Ohio resident, because I see a lot of press on that. And I'm also going to bring up another clip as well, because it was insane, because they say that the lady was diagnosed with bronchitis from chemical fumes. And they say it's killing the fish, polluting the water, getting animals sick, you know. And us being in the truth, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Come on, man, we're not ignorant of his devices. Whether it was truly an accident, you know, brought up from the Lord, or not, you know, it's all Esau's doing, because he's shipping chemical things, or you know, and trains and stuff, you know. Let me get this.
With hazardous waste, and whether or not those precautions were, if they have to take additional precautions due to traveling with hazardous waste, and whether or not those precautions were or were not taken. That's what I'm hearing about this case, is that this is something that they were trying to cut money by transporting these things that are hazardous waste in a way that perhaps maybe they shouldn't have been transported that way, or maybe the regulation should be different.
I don't know if it's even hazardous waste, though. I think it's just chemicals that we use in plastic.
So it's very hazardous. It's not waste.
Right.
Hazardous materials.
Right. It's very...
Hazardous materials, man.
These aren't storm clouds. This is the fucking shit that they burn off. The fucking shit they burn off in East Palestine. This is not fucking storm clouds. Look at it. This is over Darlington.
I'm gonna grab one more clip. One more.
East Palisades is about an hour north of Pittsburgh, almost halfway to Cleveland. Norfolk Southern has a rail line that goes right through town, and this derailment happened right on the edge outside of town, on the border of PA and Ohio. Some of the cars that crashed, spine for them contained vinyl chloride. It's a monomer used to make PVC. Other reporting on this has gotten vinyl chloride confused with polyvinyl chloride, the polymer made out of vinyl chloride. Now, the reason that this distinction is really important is vinyl chloride is very hazardous and very flammable. Polyvinyl chloride is a plastics that's used in like everything. The other thing about vinyl chloride is that it boils at 8 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's shipped in its liquid form, meaning that when these trains crashed and these started leaking, they weren't just leaking liquid, but they were spewing boiling gas. So vinyl chloride is really toxic. OSHA has the permissible limit of how much you can be exposed to it during an 8-hour shift as a 1 ppm part per million. Average over 8 hours. So prior to this, the biggest spill of this chemical was in New Jersey, where one train car and about 23,000 gallons of vinyl chloride were spilled, but it didn't catch on fire. Now, this crash in Ohio has 5 train cars. These kinds of tanker cars can carry between 25 and 33,000 gallons. Let's call it 250 to 250,000 pounds of vinyl chloride.
Damn.
That's per train car, 5 train cars. There's maybe 1 million pounds of this toxic chemical spilling into the ground and also boiling off into the air. But then it caught on fire. I think this is where the reporting is really bad, because no one is mentioning what the byproduct of vinyl chloride burning is. Of the many byproducts of burning vinyl chloride, one of them is hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen chloride is really unstable and latches onto water, like just water vapor in the atmosphere.
I want to get a quick scripture. This is the book of Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right. So, wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of our times. Because with all this going on, you got Esau, or whatever it may be, whether it was an attack or whether it was self-inflicted by Esau. Here, it's all devices against, the people, all going back to that one goal, right? And we're not ignorant of it. And so we believe in the Lord. That's what we do. We believe in the Lord. We let the Lord take care of it. We let the Lord fight our battles. Because we're in that time where Esau is going to try to push so much hell and sorrow upon the earth. Hell and death and sorrow following him upon the earth. That it is, it's going to be troublesome to many, right? This is the book of Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. We're approaching that time now. And we are kind of already in that time, but we're going into it full throttle, right? We're finna, because you got things like this going on, and you have oil spills, earthquakes, all types of things going on, man, wars, rumors of wars, but just turning out to be wars, All these things were spoken of by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds will turn out to the rain. Let me see. Let me go down. Actually, no, that was it. I'm gonna get a little bit more on this video.
And that turns into hydrochloric acid. So right now, government officials from the railroad, both the governor of Pennsylvania and Ohio are calling burning off the million pounds of this stuff a success, but not mentioning that it means that we have hundreds of thousands of pounds of acid in the air, potentially. Now, ever since engineering school, I've studied a lot of industrial accidents. I just find it really fascinating and organizing for the public. I think as a designer, it's really good to learn about. They're pretty universal across all of them. One, the responsible party, in this case, Norfolk Southern Railway, always plays down the reality of the situation. Politicians also just repeat the same lines, and then news outlets just repeat the same. So all we're hearing is the responsible party's word. This hasn't been getting...
All we're hearing is the responsible party's word, man. Right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 1. And I saw the Lamb open one of the seals, and I heard, as it was the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts. All right. Come and see. It's saying come and see. So one of the four angels, archangels, beast just mean living creature, and the angels look like men. So one of the four archangels saying, "Come and see," telling John the Revelator. And it said, "And I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow." Right. So he said a white horse, so that represents Yahweh's chariot, and Yahweh being glorified in his chariot, right? White meaning pure, glowing. And he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. And that bow represents the children of Israel. Let's see if I get that. Zechariah 9:13, when I had bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as the sword of a mighty man. So going back to that bow, and it said a crown was given to him, so he went forth conquering and to conquer man. And it says, and when he opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red. Red. And we know that red being who? Esau. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. That's what Esau's blessing, the sword. Because Esau came out as a hairy garment. And, the story of Jacob and Esau, he always been violent towards his brother Jacob, right? And he was given power to take peace from the earth. Let me get that. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Man. So we all know who that is, man. That's Esau Edom. Esau Edom, man. So, and he ruleth with a rod of iron, man. Killing, man. The damn devil. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "And come and see." And I behold a black horse, and lo, a black horse. All right, so that black horse representing the void. Black. Being I'm gonna get into it. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. So that black horse ultimately representing us being dead, right? Us being in slavery, meaning that pair of balances. We had a yoke of iron upon our neck, and if you go into that pair of balances, that's what it means, right? So this is the time where we was in slavery, dead upon a nation, man. We was dead physically and spiritually. He said, "Come and see," and behold, I beheld a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand, man. So, and Esau furthered the affliction too, man. Had us spiritually dead, physically dead, us being dead as a nation. Ultimately, the Lord did that because we wouldn't listen. You know, he said, let me just get it because I can't really. This is Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children, man. So that's what our people rejected knowledge, the knowledge of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and they wanted to go establish their own knowledge, and ultimately it didn't do them no good, because we in this situation. You know, they said let our sins fall upon our children, right? Going out and worshiping false gods as they were doing. Let's see. Hold on, Slaggy. All right. This is Revelation 6, verse 5. And look, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I behold, and lo, a black horse. All right, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. All right, so represents our slavery, us being dead, you know, spiritually and physically. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts saying, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and seeing that thou heard not the oil and the wine. Right, you know, us laboring in the truth, and you know, all for that token of salvation and the new bodies. And see that thou heard not the oil and the wine, his hopeful elect, right? His elect. Let me get that. This is 1 Chronicles 16:22, saying, touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm. Right? So Esau's not gonna, so the ones that's laboring in this truth, ultimately for the Lord, you know, no evil is gonna touch them or befall them, you know. So we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, and also we understand that the Lord got us, right? We understand that the Lord is with us, because the Lord saying like, hey, touch not mine anointed, and do my prophets no harm, man. You know, this is Revelation 6:6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. This is Matthew 20:1. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them to his vineyard. Time, man. So we all laboring for that penny, right? So the ones that's out here teaching, edifying, you know, and walking in the ways of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, doing the work, man. You know, the Lord is gonna give his angels charge over thee. All right, Revelation 6:6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that thou hurt not the oil and the wine, man. So, all right, hopefully that's the you know, that's the understanding on it. Just a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that hurt not his the ones that was given to him, called out from the world, right? Verse 8:7. And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. Hell followed him. God, man, we're in that time of that pale horse. when you got these things coming upon the earth, right? And it said that sat on him was death, and hell followed him, man. So and hell can go back to sorrow. So death and sorrow, and hell and sorrow follows them, man. You know, being Esau, Edom, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Kind, man. You know. So, you know, it just goes back to Esau's devices. You know, it was given to him, and the power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, man. So all of this is just the power of Esau. You know, fear and death and sorrows. You know, the lady, I mean, I'm assuming she's an Edomite. You know, she said she got bronchitis. She looked like she was finna fucking break down crying. You know, she don't know what's going on, probably. You know, many other people may not know what's going on either, you know. But that's all a part of Esau's plan, to leave people groping in the dark, put this stuff in these TV shows and movies, and say, hey, we already told you these things. These things was just going to come, you know. And, you know, ever since the time Alexander, that really kicked off their rule, right? Because ever since that, man, they've been running them up. They're just running it up, man. Living out their blessing. You know. Then they were shut up. Then they got loosed again for a little season. And now they're just enlarging their desires as hell. You know. So all this is just the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and showing this. This is the book of Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the man by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. So the Lord set up the basis of men. Esau, man, the Lord's of the bottom below the barrel. You know, the ones that's groping in the dust right now. You know, so the Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men. That's the Lord bringing these things about, man. You know, and it's acid in the clouds, man. You know, whether it was self-inflicted or it was, you know, attack from these other countries, it's still coming upon a time, coming upon the earth, and the Lord is making it happen. All right, but that's it for this lesson. I hope it was edifying, and shalom.